This video is most likely going to be the most important one of all the videos regarding the conversion topic, regarding the sales funnel strategy, ideas, and the whole philosophy that we strive towards here as we construct a highly effective sales funnel. And this is the topic of how to construct and design and lay out a highly conversion optimized landing page, also called sales page. Depending on what funnel, what overall funnel we work with, what overall product and the whole journey, how all that is constructed, these pages might differ slightly. But overall, there's a concept to it. There's a template to it. And what I'm going to show you here was by me and by my team members over years of running a successful performance marketing agency, tested with millions of ad budget, generating millions of clicks and analyzing hundreds of thousands of purchases that have gone through funnels like these, through sales pages like these that we personally have built for our clients in our agency. So let's go right in it and start with, again, this overall understanding that what we are constructing here is not the website. The website is used for trust, is used for brand and giving insight about all the different products that you have to offer. Each individual product has its own funnel. The main difference between a website and a landing page is that your website offers everything and has multiple call to actions. You can buy and browse all the different products and services on your website. You can find out more about the business on your website. You can maybe even apply to become an employee in the business on your website. You cannot do any of that on a landing page. The users cannot do anything like this on a landing page. It only has one call to action. Most of the time, it's a call to action to buy one specific product. This landing page is tailored in a way, and it's only shown to people that are relevant for this product. For example, your cold customers mainly get to see your first product, and they see one landing page for your first product, which suited them best as they are cold traffic, while existing customers that already have product one, they will see a landing page for product two. And I use the three terms, sales page, landing page, and funnel, most of the time to describe this very process here. While this whole thing could be called a funnel, or you could call the landing page plus the checkout a funnel, while this is just the landing page or sales page. And we're going to have a look exactly how these landing pages are created in the most effective, most conversion optimized way right now. Okay, let's start with the overall terminology of the term above the fold. This actually comes from back in the newspaper times. Whenever you got a newspaper from the local magazine or the local Times, whatever, print, they were folded in the middle, and the most important stuff was put above the fold, because then everyone can read it even without having to open up the newspaper and actually sit down and read it. Everyone who just sees the newspaper somewhere laying around, they already see this above the fold information, which is the most relevant, most important information. And this is exactly done on all these landing pages as well. In this above the fold section, which is basically this very first section, but I rarely call it first section because you never know, does this mean the first section, or does he mean the first section after the user started scrolling? So there's some confusion in it. That's why we call it God spot. This is actually a term used by a famous marketer, and we just took it because it defines it clearly. The God spot is the first section of your page. It's the above the fold section, and this God spot has all the different information in it, which are kind of derived from all the other sections. If you want to successfully bring someone to make a decision and make a call to action. They will need to understand, and the mind needs to understand, why is this change relevant for me? What is the change exactly? What do I get? How does the change work? And why can I trust that this is true, what the guy who offers me this potential change is saying? So in the God spot, you take from all the other information that there is, you take the most important stuff about your why, the most important benefits, the most important transformational brand claim. All that is put into your God spot. A brief description what your product is also put there, or you have a picture of your product in the God spot. Maybe even some insights, how does the product work, that is also put in your God spot, or maybe it's shown in a little video or in a GIF or in a background animation, or described briefly in a text, but only the most important one. Because the God spot needs to be, it needs to be very, very quickly understandable for everyone who sees it, and they need to understand all of these different areas. They need to understand the why, the what, the how, and also if you have really good trust badges and trust features in your brand. Maybe you're known from the press, maybe you have some famous influencers endorsing you, maybe you have some certificates or some awards. These will also be put into your God spot. And of course, every God spot, and most likely every other section, also has a call to action button. So there's a button as well. And that's how a God spot unites all the page into one section. And then once people start scrolling, they see the details of these different other areas. It's very important that this is in the right order, because this is the order that the mind asks itself. When you're presented with a call to action to go do something, the first question the mind asks is why? What is my outcome? Why should I do it? What's my benefit? What's in it for me? I think you know this question that most customers always ask, what is in it for me? How can I benefit from it? And that's why also it's very important to keep the whole page and the whole tone in this way that it's to talk about the benefits a lot, to talk about the positive change, the transformational, life-changing moment a lot that this product is going to bring to the life situation of the customer. And this is done on desktop and on mobile in the exact same way. Sometimes mobile pages appear much longer because you have much more, you have much less horizontal space to fit all this information in. And for most likely in the God spot, you would have very different designs when it comes to desktop and mobile. For example, on desktop, you can put your headline on the left, and you have a person on the right looking towards the headline. Like these are all gimmicks and playful things that you can do on your desktop because it's wide, and you cannot do this on mobile. So these vary a bit, but overall this why, what, how, trust, call to action philosophy is within all of them. And also when you have a look at the Holistic Framework Masterclass, you also see the section that's called Why, What, How, Trust, CTA. And this also describes this whole concept. Because that's just the concept of how sales are made, how decisions are made, how purchase decisions are made. And you can also see that the whole goal of this page is to have one call to action, one main call to action to buy the product or to set an appointment or to put in your email address, get a free course, get a free ebook, download something. This is the main call to action. And you make the whole page in a way that gets the best possible conversion rate for this specific event. For direct purchases, for e-com brands, your goal should be to aim for a 5 to 10% conversion rate. So from 100 people visiting this page, you want 5 to 10 purchases depending on your order values and pricing and the overall funnel strategy that you have. 5 to 10% is very healthy. For lead opt-ins, it can be higher. For just a quick email download, you can have conversion rates up to 20, 30, 40%. But for anything paid, 5 to 10% is already really good. And so now that you have this overall overview, we can have a deeper look into how these sections are arranged, that it makes the most sense from a UX perspective, from a customer, how it's just very easy for the customer's mind to understand what the whole product that you offer is about. Because we remember, the customer is dumb, the customer is drunk, the customer is a 3-year-old kid who doesn't know anything about your product or your service. So we make these pages in a way that's easy to understand for them what we have to offer, because we have a really amazing product or a really amazing solution for them, and they need to understand it so they can buy and change their lives. And again, we have 2 different designs here. We have a desktop design, we have a mobile design. Today, we have most of the time, depending on the traffic sources, if you use Facebook ads, YouTube ads, TikTok ads, you will get 90% or even more of your traffic on your mobile page. So always think mobile first, sometimes mobile only, but I still use the desktop page to explain to you all the most relevant psychological parts that are needed to achieve this high conversion rate. What I'm going to show you here is a really generalized, rough template of how we always start to construct these pages. Whenever you feel it's necessary to add in a new section or a specific section for your specific product, you can always do that. You will also figure out at which points and sections you can do that. But overall, these information and these sections should be there on your page, somewhat like this. If you don't do it at least somewhat similar to what I'm presenting here, you might risk losing your customers, not understanding your product, bouncing because they are confused, they don't get what your brand is about. And let's just start with all the elements that we can see here. In the top left corner, we most of the time have a brand logo. Again, you can already see that sometimes on mobile we don't use this brand logo here if we need the space for something else. In the middle of the top header bar, you could put something like an authority information. For example, Amazon best-selling book, if you sell a book, or if you have some sort of authority, or you put your 5 for 5 star ratings there. You put something here that from the first point of interaction symbolizes that you are a trustworthy source of information. Because if they don't trust this, if they don't trust you as a brand, as the salesman who is offering something, if they don't put trust in your word, you can write the fanciest headlines, they won't have any effect on the customer because they dismiss them as invalid and not trustworthy. Also in the top right, you have a call to action button. This, for example, is most of the time not possible on mobile. Depending on what tools you use, you can do it. You don't need to, because on mobile there's a call to action button directly in reach of the right thumb, while, for example, on the new iPhones, this is kind of a hard, there's like a 10, 12 centimeter distance between the thumb and this call to action button, so people cannot click it anyways. So we mostly put it on desktop only. This whole bar can be made sticky. It can be made transparent. It can have some sort of animation when you scroll down. These are all nice features to show off your brand design and potentially increase your conversions by some mild percentage. And then the most important section, the God spot. You can already see here are all the different things, the most important things from all the other sections. You have a main brand pleasure headline. This is the whole main transformation that you would strive towards. The main benefit, the main USP, the main change, your mission, your vision that you bring to the table as a brand. If you offer a crazy fitness program, that could be lose 10 pounds within just 2 weeks guaranteed, otherwise you get your money back. Something like this could be here in your main headline. For me and Bots Ventures, my headline, for example, could be use the most powerful holistic framework to radically scale your business. So you see there's some what element to it, there is some how element to it, there is overall this main headline has to be the transformation. What is the desired transformation, the dream outcome from the customer? This should be stated here boldly, just as you imagine it for the customer. And this subheadline could then be used to further amplify the trust that what you're saying here is really true. If you promise a pain-free life, if you promise a better sleep, if you promise a better fitness or a six-pack or finding the perfect girlfriend within 4 weeks, then you can put more information about that here, which would be your subheadline. In the subheadline, you can deliver some context to it, more trust, saying that you are a leading expert in your field, that you already helped thousands of customers in that space. All these would be things to put here so that they know what he's saying is really true and is really believable. Because if you don't have this context, if you don't have a strong subheadline that gives trust to it, people will read this, but they cannot believe this, and then they lose trust. Also, if you have crazy features, or you have some really unique stuff, or you are whatever Shark Tank funded company, you could put that here. You could put also, if you have really fancy trust certificates or awards or something, you could put an additional badge somewhere here, which would work as a trust authority badge thing, potentially on your product, for example. For e-commerce products, most of the time, you will show your product here as an image or some sort of cool cinematic way to make the whole background look in one color, and then there's a product here, and you can see the product, you can see how it works. Maybe it's animated, maybe it has a GIF to it, maybe there's a video here that auto plays, and people get a lot of deep information already visually what your whole product and brand is about, and then they read the headline and they're like, whoa, this sounds amazing, I need this. And they go on reading and they read about your trust, about your 7 years of experience in the market, of being the number one expert by Forbes or whatever business magazine. And this will all then bring the trust that you need. You will have a call to action button as well, which says the main call to action that you have. Most of the time it could be a similar or the exact same call to action writing that you have here. For example, start now, check out now, configure now, get your owns now, buy now, purchase here. All these call to action texts, you can test around with them, you can figure out which one works best for you. And sometimes below this call to action text, I put some badges regarding the shipping and the purchase progress, because then people already know, oh, I'm expected to buy something here. Because as weird as it might sound for you, some audiences, mostly elderly people, older audiences, they're not so much into e-com and direct sales, social media, conversion stuff yet. So what helps them a lot with conversion and understanding that they need to buy a product now is to put something like in stock. It's in stock right now. You can buy it right here. Click on this button to start your process and have it shipped to you in just 1 day. Or you put your 14-day money-back guarantee badges here. Or you put your free shipping badges here. Or you put some sort of symbol here that symbolizes that you are online right now, that you can help them, that you have a customer chat, customer support chat, and all that ready for them to start your purchase process. Below the God spot, and this is most of the time, this is designed in a way that this whole space is one desktop screen. So it exactly has this 1920 times 1080 pixel length and depth and width, so that people see this exact frame and this exact screen when they go on your page. Because if they only see half of it, because you designed it in the wrong way, or your web designer messed something up, then the whole experience doesn't work and the effect is worse. Also, if it's too small, and this is the whole first screen, then people might start reading your why or your what sections before they've fully grasped the God spot. And so you make sure that this is well designed and well made on the final landing page web design. Also, what I put here, and what you've most likely seen from most brands actually, is to put some sort of known from the press, known from famous magazines, or if you are an agency or an expert advisor or a freelancer and you have worked with famous companies, you can put your company badges here. That's called authority hijacking, where you take the trust and the authority that people put into other brands and you leverage them towards your own brand. For example, if I want to show off as a great marketer, I just tell people, hey, I've worked with famous Shark Tank businesses. Or in Germany, we have a similar show that's called Höhle der Löwen, which is like the Shark Tank founder show, where startups and founders get money from famous investors. And I've worked with many of these companies before. And by printing the badge here, everyone knows there's some sort of association between the brand here and the other trusted source, and that's how trust is created. Also, if you're known by Forbes or you have an article about your business in a famous TV show or a famous magazine, you put all these symbols here. If you don't have that, you can also try to create other badges, like for example, a 30-day money back guarantee badge, or a handmade in Germany badge, or a over 1,000 happy customers badge, or some random numbers badge that leverage you and highlight your authority through numbers, through having reached 1 million people with your email newsletter, things like this. You would put these numbers here. This is what I call PR badge authority break, as it's some sort of the end of your God spot, and it then starts the page in the next section. On mobile, most of the time we have a brand logo in top left. We have maybe a trust here in the very middle, or just a brand logo in the middle, and some variations of that. We have a main headline, we have a sub-headline, we potentially have some badges or bullet points here. We have the image or a video here, or a GIF, badges, bullets, I already said, and the call to action section, and the known from trust break section here, this really small one. And you can design this in a way where it fits exactly one iPhone screen, or you make it a bit longer. That also works if you want to fit a lot of stuff here. But then it would be very important to have the whole background in the same color. As long as this has the same color and just style to it, it can be a bit longer than one phone screen, because it would still work and it still has the highest conversion rates. So now this is the first section. Now you run into this problem where we call this God spot. This is the first section. This first section is about the why. Some people, especially these internet marketers, they use a purely pain section here, because we remember the why is always to get from A to B. Why do you buy the product? To get some sort of change, to get a transformation, to solve a problem. And if there is a strong problem, it might be reasonable to talk about that. For example, that you are potentially struggling with losing weight, or you just don't find that girlfriend, or you have just such a hard time dating women or making money, and you can talk about that pain. What you do in this section is you make the customer aware that there is a problem. People only have desire for some sort of change if they admit to themselves that there is a pain, that there is a problem that needs to be solved. And this is why this is also called sometimes a truth section. For example, if you have some sort of environmental product, you could say here, I remember we had one Berlin-based startup that saves food, and we had things here that showed how millions of tons and kilograms of food is wasted every day, every month for basically no reason, because companies are bad at planning their resources. So in the end, they have to throw away a lot of food that could have been consumed and bought by people. And this brand is saving food and saving the environment. So they put the problem situation here. And you might be able to put that, to show an image of how bad the problem really is. Also, if you have a video, you can put your video here. And most of these videos, they would start with showing the problem, showing the situation, showing how bad it is in a certain location or whatever product you work with. You create awareness for the problem. You create awareness for the problem, and by thus you create pain and a desire to get away from that pain towards pleasure. So depending on what stage your market is in and your customer and how deeply they are already aware of the problem, or maybe even your problem isn't easily talked about, then you can also just focus on the transformation, your why. This is a core concept that we have to develop and figure out when we create these brands, that we know exactly why we as a brand exist. What is the purpose? What is the purpose of the brand? What change do you want to strive for? And you put all that here. And you see, it's a very emotional thing. It's not so much about the product, it's more about the vision and the outcome of the product, the purpose of the product, the change the product brings. This is all put here, and it's not so much about the product itself. The product itself comes in the next section. And also, very important, if this is a pain section, I would never put a call to action button here. You don't put a call to action button in this section because people are not ready to click that call to action button yet, and that would only confuse their mental purchase process that they're going through, because they've just learned about some problem in the world. They've just figured out the truth about that something is really, really bad, something in their life or something in their friend's life or in the world is really, really bad, and it needs to be changed ASAP. But they don't know how yet, and they don't know what kind of solution do you propose to change that problem in the world. So you can't put a call to action button there, and I always put something that I call a transfer sentence or a transfer phrase. For example, if you showed the huge problem that needs to be solved, the transfer sentence could be, and that is why in 2018, we've sat together with the most well-known experts in these fields, and we've created a solution that is going to change this forever. Something like this, that makes sure the change is understood, the problem is understood, and now it basically gives an entrance and a starting of your pitch. Now we come to the pitch, and that's why we created brand XYZ. And that's why we are here, and this is exactly what we are solving now. And then you show your solution, which is your product, which is called the what. The customer asks, okay, let's fix that problem. Let's change. What do we do? What do we do? What do I get? What's the product? What's the process? What's the solution? What do you give me? Here, you run a healthy mix between features and benefits of your product, and you show your product for the first time. You won't believe how many landing pages and sales pages I see where there's not a clear, dumbed down information about what the product really is. Most of the time, that is because the people, the founders behind the brand are very caught up in their own business, and they are experts, and they don't know how unaware the markets sometimes are. So what I here really do is I put an image of the product here, and I say, what is it? if you sell a pillow against neck pain, then I run a text headline here that says, this brand XYZ is the first whatever pillow against neck pain. The only pillow you will ever need. Or you sell a blanket and you say, hey, this is my blanket that helps you with XYZ. We have a 6-week fitness online course program that helps you to do this, and now we get into the features and the benefits, but it should be clearly stated, what is it the product? Is it a service? Is it an online course? Is it a physical product? Is it an app that you're going to download? What is it exactly? Is it a consultation? Is it a phone call? Is it a local event? That needs to be clearly stated. Otherwise, people don't get. For example, if you sell a fitness transformation program, you might get the people very emotional about the change, and that's all good. And then they're here, and they don't know, okay, is this a physical event? Is this an app? Is this a book where I'm going to find out about the process? Is this a phone call? Is this a video Zoom call? Is this a webinar, an offline, whatever? Is this a physical product that I get shipped to my home address? This all needs to be put here. What is the product? And in the future, we are going to analyze many different landing pages where I show you exactly what is good, what is bad, which brands do it well. And I show you dozens and dozens of pages that we've built ourselves, and I can show you the conversion rates of these pages so that you get an understanding how these really good conversion rates are created. So you put your headline there and you describe what is the product. You can describe the features, some unique USPs, and the benefits that the customers get from it. What do I get from it? What is my positive outcome when I buy this product? And now, here you can put a call to action button. And below these images, you can always put badges, or below the button, you can always put badges like here, like the free shipping badge, or in stock now, get yours now badge. You can put all this here. And here, you put a clear, strong call to action. This is the first call to action on your page after the main call to actions from the Godspot, because now the customers are ready. They've understood the why, they've understood the what, and most likely they are already highly motivated to get their hands on this right now. You could potentially even show a price here if it's a very competitive price, or if your price makes you somewhat unique or way cheaper than other options, then you could put that price here as it's somewhat like a benefit to get all that amazing stuff for really cheap, because you maybe have a new process to provide that really cheap or something similar. And you put the call to action button here. On mobile, it looks exactly the same. What headline, maybe a sub-headline, the image of the product, just the raw product, maybe animated, maybe a GIF, maybe whatever, some features, benefits, badges, bullets, and the call to action button. Most people will be ready to buy the product right now here if these first 2 or first 3 sections have been crafted well. For all the people that still have some doubts, still a bit skeptical, how does the whole thing work? How exactly will the product help me to achieve that amazing outcome? Good you asked that. We have a how section for you. In the how section, the product in use is shown. You show how people use the product. You show how it works, how maybe you have a GIF here, maybe you have a video here, something on autoplay that already shows how does it work. Or you have a 1, 2, 3 step process where you say in the first step, we do this, then we do this, and then we do this. This is how you get from A to B. You describe the process exactly, how does it work. You get your product at home, you open it, you use it in this specific way. You maybe have some graphics here, some cool images that show how does the product work. You can be very technical here. You can have a more feature-oriented communication here with, for example, a feature list of everything that's great about your product, while here it's more about benefits, and here it's also very benefit-heavy. Now here, as it's getting a bit more detailed, you can write more about the features and how the whole thing works. And again, a call to action.
Because now again, you have another chunk of people that now understood how it works. It seems reasonable, it seems believable, it sounds interesting. Let's buy it. They click on the call to action button and they proceed, or they start with the checkout. I'm going to talk about the call to action buttons and the function of these buttons at the very end. For all the people that still have doubts now, they've seen your Godspot, they've seen your why, they've seen your what, they've understood your process, but they don't really believe it at first. They maybe have bought some products in the past that claim the same thing, haven't worked. They've wasted lots of money on it without getting the transformation, the promised change. So what you put here is you show all your trust. You show testimonials, you show some platforms where you, for example, have your reviews. You can use Trustpilot, Proven Expert, Trusted Shops, Reviews.io. There are so many ways to put your reviews and ratings here. You could put your Google ratings here, your Amazon ratings if you're an e-com product selling there. Whatever good, trusted stuff you have here works. Numbers work. I think I have a list here. Authority, status, through whatever means. If you have certificates, if you have endorsements, celebrities, influencers, reach, numbers, anything that gives your brand trust, put it here. And you see that sometimes there's a lot. For example, you could put 8, 10, 12 different testimonials here. You could use and source all these different ratings from these different portals and profiles, put them here. You show how big your Instagram and your Facebook profiles are and that you have a YouTube channel with 100,000 subscribers. You could put all that here. And it's very good to put all that here because the more the better. But you couldn't fit all that in the Godspot. Otherwise, you don't have any place to put your main brand transformation headline there. So from all the stuff that you have in your trust, you put the most important stuff here. You maybe put your 5 out of 5 star ratings from 1,000 happy customers. You would put that here, somewhere, or here, or somewhere here as a badge. And you could follow that up with a lot of more important stuff now in the whole trust section. Hype, movement, trend, why, arguments. Okay, there's not really a place for that in the trust section, as we have covered that in other sections. And yeah, if you offer some sort of low-risk decision, remember, we want to have a low-risk, low-barrier funnel, a customer journey where people can easily proceed with the next step. For example, if you now offer all that, you promised, you claimed a lot, you've shown how does it work and stuff, and now you're selling a 2,000 euro product without any guarantees, without anything that gives the customer an additional support, additional trust to it. Again, there's a high barrier, there's a high risk, and people will drop off because of that. So what you can put directly below your trust section would be a badge section that shows your guarantee, your 14 days testing, your 30 days free testing, your first free month, your first free order, your first whatever, some sort of conditions that are particularly tailored for new customers to get more new customers in your business with a low-risk option. And you could define that you could put a big headline to show it, and then you can describe that headline. For example, if you say here, and that's why we offer for everyone 30 days no-risk free testing. And then you have a text that says, yes, you heard us right. For the first 30 days, we will offer you this and this and this with no upfront cost, with no risk in any way. And if you are not happy with the product, just send us a mail or click here and we will instantly refund without asking you any questions. Sounds good? Get yours now. And then we are at the call to action section. This section is very interesting as it's actually the target for all the other call to action buttons.
5 years ago, most pages and most people that build these pages, they've given all these call to action buttons the function to go directly to add to cart or to checkout. We've tested this and we've actually developed this, and now many, many other marketers use it. It's the scroll down feature. Scroll down instead of going to checkout. Because what you have, if you send people directly from clicking a call to action button to the checkout, they will skip through a lot of these informations here, and you have no chance of showing the price in a really good way and showing the value. If they see, for example, they read all of the great stuff about your product, they see your why, your what, they get what it is, and then now they click the call to action button, they land in the checkout, and there they read for the first time it costs 299 euros or $199 or something quite risky, quite high. Then you have no chance of giving arguments on and having a value perception. You want to create a value perception where the overall value of what people get is perceived way higher than what they have to pay. So imagine someone thinks, oh wow, I get all this for just 200 euros? That sounds like a really good deal. Then they buy it. But you don't really have the chance to do that if they land in the checkout before having experienced the whole page. So what we put is we set these call to action buttons towards scrolling down to the call to action section. You can read this here. Scroll down to CTA section. You have the scroll down to CTA button there. You have the scroll down to CTA button here. You maybe have another button here after that. And now they're at the call to action section. This call to action section now shows everything that they get. Here, for example, I'm pretty sure by now you have heard a bit about the pillow brand that we grew and that we scaled. At the what section, we just purely showed the pillow and the function of the pillow. But if people buy our product, they don't only get the pillow. For the price, they get way more than that. They get the pillow, they get the case, they get the box, they get the filling, they get like a bag. They get way more stuff. They get, for example, an invitation to an exclusive Facebook group or a 30-day consultation on top of that, or a free event, or some like way more stuff. And you can put all this here. You can stack all the different stuff that you have here in your call to action section to really build up that value, to show how valuable every part of it is, only to say at the end, and you get all that, which might usually cost 1,000 euros, and you get all that actually just for 199 euros, which is an amazing deal. And you want to specifically have this section so people get this. And this is nothing that you can create in a checkout. That's why we have this scroll down logic to it. So this is where you show your offer. You show the final bag of the box and everything laid out, all the different components on one table, and you have an image of that. You show the price. You maybe have a really strong call to action sentence. You show your offer. You maybe describe that offer in text and have all the different parts and features as bullet points, and you have the price. If you have a distinct offer, you could put the one first price, which is not your price today. Usually costs 1,000. Now it only costs 300, 500, 200, and you put that price here, and you design it in a way that looks just really, really nice. That's why we have this whole section dedicated for the call to action. And then you can follow up with some badges, secure payment, SSL certificate, pay with PayPal, pay with Apple Pay, one-click payment, Stripe, whatever, and the call to action button, which then, for the first time now, would start the actual checkout process. So now they know it costs 299 euros, and
they agreed on that price, they want to seal the deal and get that value, and they click here, and after that they get sent to checkout, and you should not have any changes from that point in the pricing. All the shipping costs, all the handling costs, everything should be already calculated here in this one final price, and that is the one and only price that people want to see throughout the whole checkout. If there is any additional shipping getting on top of it in the last step of the checkout, which they didn't agree on here, you have a really strong drop-off there, because people will be confused, people will leave their emotional buying state and fall back into thinking and doubting and skeptical mind mode, and they won't buy. So one price here, start process, start your configuration, go to checkout, click here to actually start the checkout. You can then end the page with some more brand trust badges, your symbols, some of the stuff that you put in your trust section or in your authority sections here. You can put just the same line again, put them below your call to action section as an additional trust that what you want to symbolize to the customers. You can trust this process. You go here now, click through the checkout, get it, configure your product, and actually do the transaction. It is secure, it is healthy, it is the right choice for you. You're welcome. Let's do this step as an additional emotional support towards their change. You see this page can end here. Most of the pages actually end here. Well, not most, but I would say half of our pages have ended here. For some products, there needs to be more information put. For example, for any textile, pillows, blankets, stuff that we sold in that space, there were a lot of questions from customers. How do I wash it? Can I even wash it? How do I use it? Does it work here? Can I give it to my children? Like a lot of very technical product questions, which I wouldn't answer in the how or in the what section because they're not relevant for 90% of the viewers. They are only relevant for a really short cohort, a small cohort. And so what we create is we create an additional FAQ section here where we address the main objections, where we handle the main questions that people might still have that keep them from buying. Whatever keeps them from buying needs to be addressed and handled well. This is done in the FAQ section. You can maybe even offer a free hotline, a free WhatsApp chat, a free 30-minute, 15-minute free consultation to address all these questions, talk to an expert, and then buy. That should be the main idea for offering something like this here. You can put your money back guarantee again here, and you could then, after this all stuff is handled, you would end the whole page with another call to action section, which can be a bit more harsh, a bit stronger, a bit harder call to action, because now they really have everything they need. They have all the objections handled. They know it. It has a guarantee. It has all the risk-free. What do they want? They're ready to buy now. They just need someone to really, a strong leader to tell them, go do it, buy now. It's the right choice. Do it. Click here and start your process. And then no big footers, no newsletter opt-in, no email, no follow us on Facebook, nothing like that. Nothing clickable or nothing that can draw attention. The reason I like this sort of footer is because it gives an additional trust, just like this footer here, where you show all the different payment methods. Maybe paying in installments is good. Maybe you show your known and trusted shipping companies like DHL in Germany or other known shipping logistics companies that you work with, your quality standards, SSL certificates, trusted shops, all these badges. You can all put that trust here, and if it's legally required, you could put an imprint or some sort of information about the business or your address or something here that they know, okay, it's a real business. And if they want to find out more, they can click and they can read the imprint, but this shouldn't draw too much attention. The main goal is to click that call to action button and do the call to action that is described. That is the best way to create these landing pages. You see, this is mainly for product sales. This is for e-commerce, for software, for anything that you sell. If you sell a course, if you sell a consultation, anything, you have a page like this. And by knowing that, and by knowing these why, what, how, trust, call to action elements, you can start becoming more creative, and you can start to try to tailor this logic exactly towards your business and what your product needs. If you have another funnel where it starts with an email opt-in first, you can obviously have some minor changes here. Also, if there's a very specific objection that's always asked by the customers, you can obviously put them in the FAQs and try to handle it here. But you could also dedicate a whole section somewhere here at the what or at the how section to handle that specific objection. If it's a really strong objection that keeps a lot of people from buying, then you can address it here by dedicating a full section, or by comparing your product and price to other competitors and their price. If you are specifically offering more features for lower overall price, then a competitor comparison analysis section could also work. And there are many other sections that you could add, which are specifically tailored for some sort of businesses. But every page needs to have this. Don't make it unnecessarily long. I know there are some people that want to put in like hundreds of testimonials. I mean, at some points you get diminishing returns. What mainly is important that you have for the why, the what, and the how section, you don't have unnecessary long texts, unnecessary long information where people stop reading. You want to keep this one healthy reading flow where they start here, they read this, they get amazed, they get interested, they get desire. They learn something new here. They're like, wow, this is true, crazy. How do we solve it? Oh, they have a product that solves exactly that problem. Amazing. How does it work? Oh, wow, genius. I see nice animations. I see just well done design, well created brand congruence overall with the colors, with the fonts, with the sizes, with the style. All that needs to work together to represent one strong and healthy brand. You show off with all the crazy trust, with years of experience, with hundreds of thousands of happy customers, with amazing elements that just show that you are the authority that can be trusted. You are the expert. You are the market leading force that's going to change something in that space. You offer low risk, no risk guarantees, and you offer an amazing deal where customers can really change their life, solve a problem, get an insane amount of value, which is perceived much more than they have to pay for. You're solving problems worth thousands of euros and you're just charging a couple hundreds for it. That is how the customers should view it. You are trusted, you offer all the favored payment methods, you are open for any sort of communication, objection handling, expert consultation if they want it, if they need it, if that keeps them from buying. You show you are a real business, you have everything that a real business needs, you are trusted, you can be trusted, and people will buy your product. If you sell something with a paid transaction here, shoot for a 5 to 10% conversion rate on that page. I will just quickly show you the mobile page as well, but it's just extremely similar content. Maybe some images, some designs need to be adjusted because you obviously can have more ideas and more stuff here. If, for example, you have a headline, subheadline on the left, image on the right, on mobile it will most likely be headline, subheadline, image on the bottom. Sometimes image on top, headline, subheadline order can work, but usually headline, subheadline, image is the norm, depending on the section. Your why section, transfer towards solving that problem, showing your product, showing the features, showing the benefits, showing what the customer get, showing how does it work, step, process, crazy new method, show your process, show your system, show your method, show your whatever curriculum whenever you sell an event or a course, anything like that. You can sometimes also show the exact step-by-step process that is going to follow now. For example, we once offered a free 14 days trial to try out a product, and we said step 1, click the button, buy the product on a 14 days delayed billing, get it shipped to you, step 2, try it out for 14 days, and only pay if you like it. So this will be a process that you can explain with different icons, different symbols, step 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, or you show how your product works, or you have both. Your trust with all your testimonials, all your ratings, 5 out of 5 stars, all that good stuff that makes your brand trusted. Show your badges, show your certificates, have really well-designed badges and icons for that. It really helps with the design, and have a strong call to action offer that just looks amazingly well. Feature in more brand trust, more high status authority elements if you have them. Objection handling, another call to action section to finish the page. Short footer. I don't like long, deep footers. I want people to understand that the page is done. They are ready. They are now confronted with their one purchase decision, nothing else. They cannot escape this. This is everything they have now. They know all the stuff. They know the why, they know the what, they know the how, they know the trust. Now it is one thing that is expected for them, which is to do the call to action now. And this is, do you know the closing silence, where everything is presented to the potential buyer, and now you ask them this final question of, all right, then let's seal the deal. Let's get your sign on it, write your name on it, and we have a deal. And you shut up, you're silent. You wait until the other person acts on it. And they have to either say a hard no or a hard yes, nothing in between. It's closing, sales closing psychology here. Confront them with the call to action section. Confront them with the deal. Give them a hard call to action and tell them, do it now, it will change your life. Trust us. If not, you get your money back, no questions asked. Now it's your turn. Click the button now. Yeah, I think this template will help you a lot when it comes to creating any sort of landing page. It doesn't matter if you are a coach, a consultant, an agency, a service provider, an e-com business, an app, a software, a course, anything. This is how sales works. This is how conversion works, and this will change the way your business operates. Keep in mind, we as sales funnel strategists, we cannot fix bad products. We cannot fix a bad brand. You have to have a good product, good brand. This all needs to be well designed and well put into a congruent brand. If that is not there, you can do the best sort of copywriting, sales funnel strategy, sales psychology work. It won't have an impact on the business because we have these 6 pillars. We have product, brand, content, traffic conversion, and the CLTV, and we are operating in this conversion topic here, but it only has a positive impact towards the businesses if all the other parameters, all the other parts are good. That's why today I only work, or we as a company at Bots Ventures, we only work with really high quality products, with founders that have a clear vision, a clear mission that can be put into a brand. They have a strong purpose. They have some ideas about the colors, about the whole brand design to it. And they need to have a strong CLTV, a high customer lifetime value, because we're acquiring them new customers. But if the business isn't able to monetize them in a healthy way, upsell them, retain them for months and years, then even the best acquisition system, the best acquisition funnel won't be enough to scale the business. You need to have great product, great brand, great content, good traffic. Like, for example, these pages here also only work at the right audiences. You can craft the best landing page, but if the marketers do a bad job at extracting the right people, then the wrong people, the wrong audiences land on your page where maybe the pain isn't there. Maybe they don't have this problem. They have a different problem. They think completely differently, like the audience that you want to appeal to. So the traffic needs to be on point. And if you do all that, your conversion can be high if done right. And if your CLTV is high enough and is 5 times, 10x higher than what you're paying in acquisition costs, then you can really scale these businesses. I hope this helped you a lot. I think we just have to analyze some more pages, see examples of B2C brands, of B2B brands, of good and well-crafted pages so that you can be inspired by them. You can take what's working, take the exact phrases that just work the best, use them in your own business, tailor them towards your own individual product and service, and create really, really high conversion rates in the process.